So we have quite many international participants in the web, but I'm really glad that we also have quite many people here as researchers, companies, and cities. And so I start with really recalling what's the process of the Smart City Challenge, and especially, of course, in this phase, I will concentrate on the next step for making the proposals for February 29th. Nothing happened with the screen. Now it's okay, yeah? Get there. Okay. So we, in this picture, yes, what I want to stress is that once upon a time, the smart city meant technologies and being digital. Now this is kind of the basic and ground level, and we want to stress that we do the smart city in order that the cities have the minimum bad impact on the nature and the planet, and also the citizens in the city are as happy as possible. So these are the main focuses, not to implement any technology. Technology is a tool to achieve this. So that's the core importance. In the process, we always start with city needs. As this time, we had 41 cities to really make proposed challenges that they have in their real life. Then they also voted for that. And so we have now 17 challenges that are in the competition. And from the researchers and companies, we have got 30 solution ideas to these challenges, and we will listen to those today, and they are the ones to continue then, and once we will choose 4 ones to execute. And the result of those pilot projects should be scalable products and services implemented in as many countries as possible. That's our goal. So yes, these pilots are really financed by the European Regional Development Fund, so the structural money given to Estonia, and the Estonian Ministry of Research and Education is also adding a sum, so it's Estonian, kind of Estonian money. Why do we want to have foreign cities and also finance their contribution? Is that we want to get really scalable solutions so that we do those that are implementable in different countries, not only in Estonia. And in this in these 2 next rounds, round 3 and round 4, we have 8 million euros, and we hopefully can start seven new solutions with that, do 7 new projects. So as you read the challenges, they are not very narrow so that you can solve them with one concrete skill. In most of the cases, you need researchers from different domains, from different institutes, and so forth, in order to have a really good solution that takes into account different aspects of that. And as repeated, so in each of the pilot projects, we want to have minimum 1 Estonian and 1 foreign city to pilot the solution. There can be more. There can be also private campuses or private real estate developers in addition to that to pilot the solution, but definitely the minimum is 2. For the city side, we also want to stress that we really hope that you manage to engage citizens or empower the citizens in order to guarantee the sustainability of the solution, because in many cases, the problem is not the technology, but the problem is the habits of real people to start to use or change their behavior, also the city government. So that's very important. And today also in the afternoon, we have our colleagues Pilvi and Aya to give you some ideas also how to deal with the citizens. And we don't mean let's do a questionnaire in the beginning and in the end, and then the citizens are engaged. That's the very basic and not the engagement, but a good tool still. So the kind of key performance indicators for the pilot. So what we really want, that there are new solutions that get to the market in one or other way. We are supporting it to make it happen, but it doesn't mean that let you to do the research and say, okay, the Finnish Center will take it to the market. That's not how it works. We need either someone from your team to be the ones who want to take it to the market. So, for example, form a company. There can be a company already involved whom we make an agreement with to commercialize the solution, or you can also license it to an existing company, but ideally don't think it fictionally. Start some talks with those companies who you imagine could be the licensing partners, because maybe it comes out that there is no interest. Of course, we want also to have the wider impact for the cities, for the citizens, and for the environment. And from the research side, also, of course, research articles, new researchers into our team so that we can grow stronger, and also some horizon projects for continuing the work. So where we are in the process now, by September 30, we got the challenges from 35 cities from 10 countries. Then in October, the cities were really voting which of those challenges are also important for them, although proposed by some other cities. So now we have 41 cities from 11 countries involved. And then we had the workshop in October, recording also available at our homepage, where we discussed those challenges so you would understand these as well as possible. And by November 30, we got those 30 challenges that you will hear about today. And today we are in this fourth box, the December 30 workshop. The next step is that by the end of February, we are now expecting the proposals, pilot project proposals already, max 6 pages. The template is at our homepage. Something happened? Still. Okay. And these should be already where the cities and researchers develop it together. So now you could just have an idea that maybe these 2 cities are interested to implement. Now you really need those minimum 2 cities to be with you and really talk to the cities, listen to them, and try to fine-tune your pilot proposal so that they believe in you and they really think this is the solution they want to pilot in their city. That's very important that we understand that. And then the proposal sent to us by the end of February, we will evaluate together with the public sector and select maximum 10 to the finals, which is a validation phase. Which will then take place from April till August. So by the end of March, you will get to know who are the ones that get to the finals. And then okay, so this I a little bit tell you what we expect in this proposal on 6 pages, because this is now what we will evaluate. Yeah. It starts with the usual thing, the solution title. So give it a short name, and you can give it a longer name. With short name, please don't give the acronyms. That doesn't mean anything. Give the words that we could guess what's the proposal about. Yeah. Then choose the duration. We don't yet ask for a project plan or concrete budget, but do the very draft version for yourself so you understand how much money would you need and how many months. In the initial phase, majority of you proposed 36. Think, do you really need 36? From round 2, we have the experiences that most of the pilots can be done in a shorter period. And at the moment, the competition between 24 months is much less than, because there are less of those. But of course, if we get not enough good proposals for 24 months, then we just finance 1 instead of 2. So we don't have to finance 4 if there are not good enough proposals. Yes, and for the main contacts, definitely there had minimum 3 contacts, the one leading the research team, one for one city and the other for the second city. So we see that you have involved everyone. And for example, we can call the city and ask, did you really say yes? Are you really interested? We don't need the sign page or something like that, but we just really need to know that you really discussed it with the city and didn't just create this name of the city by yourself. Then this first question about the urban challenge, this is in reality mostly what the cities in the application already wrote, but now bring it closer to your solution so that we really understand that this is the practical, it's not too vague. Yeah, the cities, I don't know, do not have enough green electricity. That's not good enough, yeah. Try to be specific because the application is really short, so avoid all the general sentences that everybody knows anyway, yeah. And then question 2 is the answer, okay, how really does your solution solve the challenge? We understand that you cannot solve all the challenge because most cases the challenges are quite wide, yeah? So probably you won't challenge all the aspects of this challenge. So find out what specifically you can solve, which aspect, yeah? Then in this question 3, there's majority of the new things come in there, yeah? So there you need to pay all the questions. The application form is in the homepage, so you can already read all the things there. So there you need to tell us, okay, what are the solutions at the moment? Because in most of the cases, there are already solutions on the market. And in some cases, doing nothing is also a solution. So really try to show us kind of what you're competing with. And then the intellectual property thing, for example, if your research team already has some IP about it or what's kind of already done, what you bring already on board when you start the thing, yeah? Then also describe how you will really pilot. Have you already discussed it with the cities? How in practical terms the piloting would take place? Really discuss it on very practical. Is it this street? Is it this house? Do we need 10 houses in one city or what other? That also helps you to think about the budget and time, how much you would really need. Then also discuss a little bit, as we talked, it should be a scalable product in the future, meaning the money can be earned back from this thing. It doesn't mean that we give it free to everyone, then we don't earn back anything, yeah? So it should be scalable and there should be wider need. Try to specify that with more cities than just these 2 ones. Is it possible to potentially sell? In some cases, your clients are not cities, but some other organizations inside city, and that's very much okay. Or private real estate developers, for example. So that's also very fine. And then, yeah, it says about this main target customer. So who could be the ones that in the future would buy the thing? And then it's shortly about the team. For the team, we don't need pages of references of articles, just 2-3 lines per team member, so that we believe that you have the strong core team. You don't need all the members yet by the end of February, but if you say that you want to do a 36 months pilot project, 1.2 million, and you have just 2 team members, then unfortunately we won't believe that, yeah? So you need a little bit more, but don't give us like 30 names. You will be in trouble managing 30 people as well. And then the impact of your solution, this is really long-term implementation and the same things that the public sector wants to see, that it's not just a problem of one city specifically, but it's needed in wider sense. Okay, and the evaluation in this first phase, there will be 2 teams evaluating it. The first team comes from the Finnish Center. So our own people, each application, each proposal will be evaluated by 2 people from our team. And we want to see really how it would help to build the sustainability of the center. And yes, there is like really, we want to see and believe in the business potential that we could earn money back in the future. Also to get good additions into our team to do more research projects, for example. And also we want to see that really the cities are engaged, that we can work with the cities, and we believe that you have cities on board, you have listened to them. The public sector, the same. It is the team will be led by the Ministry of Climate from the Estonian side, but they will engage 2 people for each pilot project, expert in this field. For example, if it's mobility, then it's mobility people and so forth, that will evaluate these different aspects. So pay attention to these things. At our homepage, this Estonian 2035 goals, the document is there in English, so you can read it. But I don't think it's too specific to Estonia, so in most of the countries, it's quite similar. And the other points that you can read it, it's also on our homepage under selection criteria, so you can read it at any point. So these are the kind of important angles at the moment for the public sector. So pay attention to these, how you handle, and in this last point that was about impact, you need to shortly target, again, specifically, not generally. So as said, by March 29, we will evaluate and give you know who are the maximum 8 pilot projects that will continue. They can start the work from April. 1 person from our team will join all those teams. So you have someone from us helping you and working together with you. We can also cover the costs up to 12,000 per pilot project. So the traveling costs, small salary contributions to the main key people that doing the things either from the cities or from TalTech. And by August 22, you need to then write the full proposals already with a budget and concrete action plan. No page limitations there. So here you can write all those long texts that I know researchers like to write. So here they are very welcome. And of course, while doing this work with the students during those 4 months, you may discover that maybe you don't need so much money and time. Maybe you can already create a spin-off or find another small grant and do the same thing. And of course, it may come out that you dig deeper and find out, sorry, that's not doable in one or other reason. So these also may be the options. Today, listening to the other proposals, then also try to think maybe it makes sense to join some other team and make jointly a joint proposal. Think about that. And yes, by this February, definitely all the teams also need TalTech team, meaning the researchers from this building of this our team. We can help you to find the TalTech researchers, but again, you can also see some here and then have them, the ones that are online at the moment. And also our homepage we have several hundreds of researchers, so we can help to find the right ones. Then in September, we have the International Evaluation Committee that will have 3 investment background people, 3 people from the public sector, and 3 people from the academic sector. And then Ralf Martin Soe, who is our CEO, to really also evaluate and give our opinion to them. The people that help to prepare the proposals are not in the evaluation committee. So Ralf, unfortunately, cannot help any of the teams by himself. Some of the people now may ask, okay, you have also people from your own team. We have also Finnish people who have made the proposals, yeah? So you may think, okay, they will give the money them anyway, so why are we here, yeah? So in reality, what is our main interest is to earn the money back from the business success of those things in order to do more and more pilots, because unfortunately, this financing from the public sector will end. So it doesn't make sense to give money to the weaker proposals. For short term, we have more people working for us, but in long term, our pockets are unfortunately empty and I probably lose my job. So I can't do any more pilots. So definitely our interest is to try to get the best proposals in the business-wise, really, but also research-wise, really to be strong on the And so this evaluation committee will evaluate it in the written form, each one according to their own criteria. criteria are at our homepage, so please take a look. And then we have the steering group who will make the final decision according to the points given by the steering committee. And then you have 1 month, October, to get ready for the launch. And 1st of November 24, the new pilots will start. Ideally, 2 middle-sized, 2 years, and 2 large ones, 3 years. Yes, these are the evaluation criteria. You can read in more detail. There are concrete points and so forth. They are on our homepage under selection criteria. In our homepage, the Smart City Challenge 23 is long. So keep scrolling, and once you get to the selection criteria. For the action plan, a reminder that, yes, always those pilots start that you have now still a kind of new team of researchers and companies and cities together. So you need time to fine tune what's really the solution. New development, some experiments, whatever you need, yeah, to prepare. Sometimes the tenders take a long time if you need to buy something. So this is this first period. Then comes the piloting, the 12 months for piloting and analysis. And it has to take place there. We also have set the criteria. If the piloting doesn't start there, we stop the project. In this first phase, unfortunately, we had the cases where the piloting started during the last 3 months of the pilot. So in this phase, we won't let it happen. And then also next to the piloting, so you prove if it really worked, and you also validate more business-wise and have the business plan draft ready. Based on that, we make the go, no-go decision if we give also money for the last phase, and that is really getting more ready for the market. So monetarily, yes, 1.23 million for the large ones and 850 for the middle-sized pilot projects. So for the cities, a reminder that, yes, in this phase, project-wise, the cities are not partners. We will sign partnership agreements with the cities, but they are not responsible for the financial, meaning all the money is given to us, and we buy experts from the cities or hire experts from the cities, cover their traveling costs and cover the piloting costs. So they don't need to deal with the bureaucracy. That's a good side for them. We have to take care of all of that. For the researchers, yes, the activities are financed 100%, so there is no own financing percentage. Yes, you can gather the data also for your long-term research through those pilots that you can use also long-term. And the new financing scheme is that for TalTech researchers to know that, yes, 25% is given overhead. So we know in TalTech some of it goes into the center, but still, if it's 25%, there is something for you. But this is the Horizon rules, the same as in the Horizon. So subcontracting doesn't give 25%, but all the other direct, it's plus 25%. So that you kind of know and can think about that. So how is it different from the Horizon grants? It's really, we very much care what's going on in these pilot projects. So I will be coaching all the pilot managers really on weekly or bi-weekly basis because we are really interested that it flies and that something practical comes out of it. We also have business coaches helping you to get it further. Also, the IP that will be created during those projects belongs to us. Of course, if some, I don't know, companies or researchers from other institutes come on board and there's previous IP, then we agreed at the beginning what was done, you need to write it also in your application. Okay, this is what's done before, and now this is what will be created. We are also very happy to share the profits in the future with the authors, in case they are working with us and not saying, okay, do it yourself and leave us alone, then of course it's not shared. And this is European Regional Development Fund, meaning all the costs need to be covered with proof documents, and they ask all the documents from us. So be ready for the bureaucracy for the researchers who are here. So that's quite different from Horizon things. And the last thing to repeat, yes, really, we got funds, 15 million to invest into those pilots. So we are really working now, 6 pilots are ready. We are working to get them commercially successful, and we will do with the same. And we hope that from the success fees, also initially some additional state financing, and we can continue those pilots many years also after this, after 28. So the last thing is the concrete steps. So you need to now compile the team. Researchers, definitely also you need TalTech researchers, 2 to 4 cities. I recommend to have more than 2 cities in this phase, because it may come out that some initially say they are interested, but you really don't see their contribution. So you have the option to say no. By February 29, send us the application. 6 pages, specific, not general words. By March 29, we will let you know who are the maximum 10 ones that get into the finals. April, August, the validation phase, and August 22, we will get the full proposals with many pages. And all the information, including the application form, is at our homepage. If you have any quick questions, then we can take them now. You can also write them into the chat, and I can answer in the written form. Yes, Victoria?
This is a very good presentation. Will you send it to us?
We are recording at the moment also my presentation, so it will be there. For you as the Infinite Center, it's on our folder, it's in SharePoint. All the TalTech people can also probably access if you want to see concrete slides. But this information is all public and under the challenge. Yes.
Yeah, you were showing the length of the piloting, and somehow the funding is also connected to the length. But actually, if your project is connected to the climate, so it's certainly not 1 year, it's 1 season is not enough to do the pilot. So the budget can be smaller, but the length has to be the long one. So
it's okay for us. Just our experience from the last 2 rounds was that whatever sum and whatever length we told to the researchers, that was exactly the budget and the length. So we are very happy if you really think what you really need and give us a little bit different, that's all fine for us. If you give a longer length and less budget, for example, that's just the kind of mathematical formula. Anything else? Doesn't seem here. Is there anything in the chat? If there isn't, yeah.
So you told us this pilot should be done in this like 12 months, what you put a period, both pilots in both cities, or at least 2 cities should be done.
Still 2. So ideally you can do it parallel. In some cases you don't. In most of the cases, the pilot in the first phase, never the pilot has been 12 months. Usually the pilot has been about 3 months or something like that. So it should fit into 12 months. But yeah, think what you need. It can depend really on, for example, in one also we had a seasonal thing that initially in the plan we had to do the pilot in November, but it wasn't possible. So we needed a warmer month or something.
The question about the validation with the customers. Do we need by the 29th of February evidence of validation with other customers rather than pilot cities?
You can have it instead of the cities, yeah, or next to the cities, meaning, yeah.
And in which form this validation will take place? Kind of interviews and acceptance from potential customers, or the price they're willing to pay, or it's too elaborate at this stage?
Yeah, I guess it's mostly interviews.
Yeah.
Where you find out it's not just that you ask like, okay, would you be interested? And they say yes, yes, maybe. That's not enough. Yeah. So definitely the kind of in-depth understanding, like how and what they give you some feedback. Yeah.
Yeah. And what? How many customers? Let's say 5, 6.
Yeah, that's definitely enough. Yeah.